Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Last time around we had torrential downpour warning, otherwise known as Friday in Oklahoma. Anyway, torrential downpour warning. Basically, we had a brief encounter between Jolene and Poochie, and we also got a bit of backstory on him, how he met the one called Dio, and learned of Dio's plans to enter heaven. And but now the only person who knows about it is Jotaro, because Jotaro read Dio's notebook and then burned it. So that's why Poochie has been after Jotaro's memories. And then Jolene went out to the courtyard, got shot, but then weather forecast was able to help her by have it raining frogs, and then she did get Star Platinum up to the pigeon that was sent by the Speedwagon Foundation, Savage Guardian. And yeah, the Speedwagon Foundation now has Star Platinum, but Pale Snake and Poochie obviously still have his memories. And at the end we were also teased about Poochie went to some other person and had a bone of Dio, and he is going to do something with it. I don't know. Anyway, like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So why don't we go ahead and jump right into this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Here we go. Okay, so, slightly different OP, but still the same OP. That's weird. Same outro too. I guess that tends to happen. That's okay. Okay, this is weird. Limp Bizkit. Okay, how did they censor that? Because it must be a similar... It must be the same kind of localization as Marilyn Manson. Alright, so... Sports Maximum. Or Sports Max. That must be a reference in and of itself. Fashion brand, okay. Oh, okay. So they changed Limp Bizkit to Limp Viscit. But they say it so quickly that it just sounds like Limp Bizkit. Okay. Or, apparently in EOH, which I assume is one of the games, Eyes of Heaven, yes. In Eyes of Heaven, it's known as Flaccid Pancake. I mean, neither of those are good names, by the way. Like, I'm not really intimidated by a guy who has the power of Limp Bizkit, you know? Sports Maximum. That's just his name. Yeah? I mean, I guess I get the gist of it. You know, it's finally here in part 6 that I've really stopped fretting over what stands do. Invisible alligator. Duh. It's taken me 4 parts, because Stan started in part 3. It's taken me 4 seasons, basically, to accept that I'm not going to find any logic. Like, I'm not going to be able to figure out the logistics of a lot of stands. Most stands are garbage. Like, you would not want most of these stands. Like this one. He brings animal corpses back to life, but he doesn't bring the actual corpse back to life. His stand becomes that animal, but it's also invisible. It's also invisible. That sucks. What a terrible... I mean, I guess, yeah, because this guy, because there's a lot of stands where, like, yeah, it's fine if you're fighting, and Sports Maximum, he's clearly a killer. He's, head of a gang or something. Granted, he didn't use his stand to, while he was a gang member, because presumably he got his stand from Poochie, so there's that. So, especially in this prison, it is a very useless power. Like, he got lucky that Hermes attacked him next to the arts and crafts shop, basically. The workshop where they have dead animals that you can stuff. I mean, yeah, the fact that they did it next to, the fact that Hermes did this next to the workshop where there were already taxidermied animals. Thank goodness for that, because otherwise he wouldn't have ammunition, like, unless he carries like a dead rat on him. And I mean, I'm sure it's a prison. You can probably find a dead rat in a wall or two, but... Or you could be like Gwess, because Gwess, like, hollowed out a mouse, like, in 5 seconds and made Jolene wear it. Did everyone just forget about Gwess? I feel like everyone forgot about Gwess, She's just doing her thing, and good for her. She had the sense to get her ass kicked and be like, hey, you know what, I'm out. I'm not part of this. But yeah, that's a awful power. But again, I've just kind of, like, I've finally given into the JoJo madness where, like, look, the good stands are going to be the main character stands and the main villain stands. Those are the good stands. Like, the main group and the main villain. And in between, you will get others, You will get others. There were quite a number of stands, I feel like, in Part 5 that were good to have. I mean, just the first one that comes to mind is Metallica, But on top of that, White Album was pretty good, so... But then you get Flaccid Pancake and its ability to copy dead animals but also be invisible. Yeah. And, the stars aligned in order for that to happen. The stars aligned in order for this particular battle to happen, So presumably then, when Poochie asks Sports Maximum to use his power on the bone of Dio, he is expecting Limp Bizkit to take the form of Dio. But you can't see him. Presuming he would still be under the control of Sports Maximum, he probably won't be able to talk. He probably doesn't have his stand. He could be Jonathan Joestar for all you know. That'd be hilarious, though, if Limp Bizkit's stand turned into Jonathan Joestar, But you can't see him. I get what he's going for, like, he's trying to get the memory, But I mean, I don't know why though, because if he has the disc, he's got it. Then I don't know. I don't know why he hasn't just gotten the memory, but I don't know. I like Hermes's backstory, where, because it makes sense that it's like, oh, without her mother, and she didn't accept her sister as a new mother, and so she was gonna run off. She's getting away from the family, she's off to go do her own thing. I love that. You would think it would be standard, like, hooligan stuff, like, oh, she's off to go be a rebel or something. It's like, I love she's like, no, I'm going to go off and go to college on a track and field scholarship. And it's like, oh, well, good for you, you know? To which it's like, yeah, it sucks for Gloria that, you know, she needs Hermes to help out at the restaurant, you know? But Hermes is going to go, like, make something of her life, you know? She's not just going to, you know, go smoke weed behind the 7-Eleven. She's going to go do something. And it's like, well, okay. I mean, going to college does not rule out going behind a 7-Eleven and smoking weed, but that's beside the point. The point is she's also going to college on a track and field scholarship. That's awesome. Cool. Like, I don't... Like, yeah, she kind of left in a mood, but I don't know. I think that's great. Go to college. Go do that. That's great. I don't know. That was weird. That was kind of weird, but it was good. And then we also had, I guess, the preview of things to come. What will happen after this battle is Jolene is going to be put into ultra solitary or something for some reason. Okay. And then we did also have FF doing the reverse of what her body wants, which is kind of weird, but it's like, oh, the body, the person, she wants to drink coffee, so I'm going to drink tea specifically. And like I know the ultimate outcome was all of the other women start fighting each other because they're all cutting, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what the whole point of the FF does everything reversed, you know? I don't know. Like, they held on that for so long, and I'm not really sure what to get out of it, but maybe I'm not supposed to get anything. I just said I'm not supposed to take any of these stands seriously, you know? Like, Limp Bizkit is an invisible alligator. Cool. Let's move on to the next episode, you know? Like, that's just kind of where we are now, I guess. And I don't know, maybe if I had done this, maybe if I had accepted the madness, you know, during part 4, maybe I would have liked it better, except I wouldn't, because fucking Koichi, ow. Alright, put up the thing. It has been 0 days since Alex bitched about Koichi, so I said I was going to put a thing up at the beginning of part 6, and I just didn't. Oh well. Yeah. Invisible alligators. That's weird. And I know, by the way, because I said it's like, oh, stands aren't supposed to be invisible because that's the whole point. It's like, I know there's also the invisible stand, the baby from part 4. That doesn't count. The whole power is that the baby turns invisible too, you know? But yeah, an invisible stand makes it so much easier on the animators. I don't know. This episode was fine. I liked Hermes' backstory, so that was something. She was going to go to college, and then... Honestly, it makes you think, it's like, well, shouldn't have chased after her then, you know? It's like, I don't know. It's so weird, you know? It's so weird that it's like, oh, I'm going to go off, be on my own, and be a rebel. And also, I'm going to go to college and get my life together and, like, get a scholarship and get a degree. And it's like, cool. I don't see what the problem is here. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's it. With all that being said, I guess, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.